Zimbabwe's woes continue after plans to introduce a new currency were delayed. The country is experiencing a shortage of US dollars, which it has been using since 2009. Now, this has caused a major spike in prices and shortages of basic goods, medicines and fuel. Let's go to our Zimbabwe correspondent Pindai Dube to get an update of the current situation. Pindai, a very good morning to you. So just what is happening in the country because of the shortage of dollars and, of course, some major health concerns now because of the shortage of medicine?
Yes, good morning, Yuveka. What is happening currently is that the doctors actually this week threatened to go on strike because of poor conditions. They are saying their patients are dying. They don't even have a painkiller in the hospitals, and they want the government to resolve this. And also with bread increases, cash shortages, as you mentioned, people are queuing to get cash, and also there's diesel shortage. And that's the situation currently in Zimbabwe.
All right, Pindai, I mean, do they not actually see this coming at some point? I mean, it doesn't actually, you wouldn't just notice a shortage overnight. Was there no contingency plan? I understand, yes, currency and money, that was a problem. But did nobody flag this before it got to this stage where people are actually dying because they can't find the right medication?
All right. Yuveka, you remember the junior doctors who initially went on strike for about a month. They were also demanding conditions to be improved. They were mentioning the same thing, saying that there's no medicine and their clients, their patients are dying. So this is a thing which has been going on for long, but it has worsened in the past weeks. And the senior doctors, they are the ones who protested at one of the biggest hospital in Harare, that's Parrenyato.
All right, Pindai, so what's the government saying about all of this? The health minister, the president, what have they got to say, seeing as people are dying?
Yes, you remember even last week the president mentioned that the issue of sanctions has affected Zimbabwe. They are blaming the Western imposed sanctions, and also the Minister of Health, that's Obadiah Moyo, he also blames the previous Mugabe government that they inherited a collapsed health system and their shelves are empty. They are trying by all means to find funds to buy medicines in the hospitals.
Has there been any offer of help from international bodies, Pindai? Are we seeing maybe, other countries, including ourselves, South Africa, rallying to maybe help and get these supplies to you?
Yes, they've actually extended, they're actually asking for help from countries like South Africa, as you mentioned, and also to international agents like the United Nations and others, because we remember in the previous years we'd seen the United Nations and other international agents chipping in at this time. But last time the government was claiming to be having enough medicine, and the Minister of Health, Obadiah Moyo, also claimed that they have secured about 1 million worth of medicine. So we are waiting to see whether that will be delivered, that will be implemented actually, because they might be just talking about figures. They've been claiming for a long time that medicine is enough, but on the ground the situation is different. There's no medicines in the hospital.
Is this throughout Zimbabwe, Pindai? Are we seeing this situation in just parts of Zimbabwe?
Yes, the situation in Zimbabwe, Yuveka, as you are mentioning, it's the economy actually is on its knees, but the government continue to blame the Western imposed sanctions. So, but the opposition is saying that this is the failure by the Mnangagwa regime to improve the situation since it took over power from Mugabe about almost over a year now. So 1 week you have the situation improves, like the issue of fuel. Another week you don't have fuel completely. Like I mentioned right now, of course, petrol is available, but there is no diesel in the country. Long queues of diesel are seen at most filling stations.
Sorry, Pindai, I should have been more clear. I was wanting to know if the situation regarding medication and equipment shortages, if it's only certain parts of Zimbabwe, like the outlying areas, whether they are rural, or is it throughout the country where we're seeing people dying because they can't get their hands on medicine?
Yes, it's the whole country. But the most Parenyato Hospital in Harare, the biggest hospitals, are the ones who are complaining right now because. But what I know is that the situation in rural hospitals, especially, is very dire. It's critical actually. When you see these big hospitals, which are in the capital, are failing to secure medicine. What about those in deep rural areas that are west?
All right, thanks very much for that update. A dire situation, a health crisis, definitely, I think you can term that. That's the situation there in Zimbabwe, and that's Pindai Dube, our correspondent there, just bringing us the latest on that very, very scary situation.